am Jenna. I am the original HMF. I'm a beauty educator, and I am here with Jennifer Watson, the in-house educator for Zenagen Hair. And we are so excited to see you all this morning.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much for having me again.
Yes, I'm so excited. So we were thinking we would discuss the Evolve line today, because that is definitely one of my favorites for sure. I actually washed my hair this morning, and I just wanted to show everyone how committed I am that I keep these in my shower. Like I have the big guys.
I love that. Yeah, those are great.
Yes, well, I need them for sure. So I was thinking I could share a little bit about how I got started with Zenagen in this line, and then we can go from there. So I had my first hair trauma about 4 years ago when I got hair extensions for my 10-year wedding anniversary, and I had keratin bonds. And when they took the keratin bonds out, my hair was this long, and I was freaking out. So it was all in the interior portion. So I still had hair in the front, but all of the hair back there was like an inch long, which completely freaked me out. I had to wear extensions. And I switched hairstylists, and the hairstylist I started going to said, you know, I think we could have your hair longer by the new year. And this was like March or something. And she was telling me about her own hair journey and how she had had hair loss and her hair was so short. And as a hairstylist, how upsetting that was for her. And I said, how did you fix your hair? How did you grow your hair back? And she introduced me to Zenagen, and she told me, go online and look for reviews. I've only ever been able to find one bad review, and I've never been able to find any bad reviews. So I started with the Zenagen. My hair started to grow back. Unfortunately, I changed hairstylists a couple more times and had some more hair disasters with chemicals and bleach. But I have to say, and I just cut my hair has finally grown back, and I have normal hair, and I attribute that all to the Evolve line and to Zenagen, because I would love to have fuller hair too. I just have very fine hair. But for me, I'm really trying to grow it and get the length. So I know a little bit about how everything works, but would you mind explaining to everybody else how the Evolve line works?
Yeah, sure. And then, of course, throughout your journey, what's cool about being able to use Evolve as well is you've had color services throughout that growth process as well.
Absolutely.
So sometimes as hairdressers, I'm a hairdresser myself, we have to put stop on chemical services when we're trying to grow out. But if you have a product to support your journey, then you don't have to stop. You can continue with those services and keep your blonde, you know, pieces that you want and all of that. So yeah, that's amazing for sure. And as a hairdresser, it's really helpful to have that so that our work is not as hard as hairdressers to come back and do. When you guys go home and use all these different products that may or may not work, and then come home, sometimes we have to do damage control when it comes to the salon. So it's really nice to not have to do that. So yeah, so Evolve is a shampoo and conditioner treatment for it's for several different things. The technology is for hair restoration and acceleration. So just as you were looking for to kind of speed up the process to get your growth back after a bad experience, that's what this can help do. So the product sits on the scalp for 5 minutes, 3 times per week. You know, if you want the best, quickest results, you can use it once or twice a week as well. It just takes a little longer. And we have, so we're all plant-based. So, you know, plant molecules work really well in our bodies. We're learning that now as we're evolving and learning that things maybe we did forever is not working anymore. So plant-based ingredients are really important. And so we use ingredients such as green tea and lavender, bacopa monero, ginger root, aloe, all of these amazing ingredients. And what we do is, and I'm going to share this with you because I teach science, so that's what I do.
I love that.
So this is a hair molecule. This like blows up the inner workings of our hair. So whether you are a licensed professional or not, we could all learn about our hair. So our green tea technology takes the ingredients to the dermal layer. So this is where hair loss is, this is where hair creation happens. And this is also kind of where the growth cycle may stop sometimes and just kind of hang out and not accelerate forward because of several different things, whether it's something in our environment, something we're consuming, or a trauma to our hair like you experience.
Right.
And so Evolve goes in and heals and seals the cuticle. The cuticle is the outer layer of the hair. It's what gets damaged. And so it needs to be kept in great structural condition when we're doing chemical services. And that's just daily wear and tear, Jenna, you know, just like putting our hair up and brushing it and smoothing it and blow drying it. And all of these things add up. So that damage adds up, and Evolve really heals and seals the hair, and then it works inside too. So this is good. It works inside to rev things up and get that growth cycle going. So it's supposed to give you 40% increased growth. And in the summertime, our hair grows 10% faster. So if you really want to rev up your engine in the summertime, then you add Evolve to that. That's a 50% potential of growth.
Wow.
Accelerated growth. So pretty cool.
That is very cool. I have heard that in the past, that summer is when your hair grows faster. And I was wondering if there was any truth to that or not. Something about the heat, I don't know.
Well, it's this. We're eating more, better nutrition in the summer. Hopefully fresher fruits and vegetables. We're moving more. Our heart rate is up more. We're out and about more. We are getting more sunlight, which is vitamin D, which is really important part of our hair structural creation. So yeah, summer's a good time to really get in there and get your hair growing if that's your goal. And then, you know, of course, Evolve can be used in the winter time too, to help restore some moisture from indoor heating and all of that. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, that's exciting. I'm glad that I have that extra little boost. And I live in Florida, so I must have it all year round. I'm going to go with I have it all year round because it's never cold.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So that's something that because I've had people in the past who have questioned me about how does it work topically. I've never heard of anything being able, outside of Rogaine, which is a whole other ball of wax. I've never experienced anything that topically can help your hair grow. But because the shampoo sits on your hair for the 5 minutes, and I'm assuming because of the green tea with the caffeine, that opens the pores in your hair so that it can get down to the molecular level, right?
Exactly, yeah. So most of the shampoos we typically use just work on the scalp and the existing hair, and that's what they're molecularly created to do. And when Jared Reynolds, our founder and creator, did the research on this, he realized there was a gap in the, a missing piece, is that we're not going down to where hair's being created. So green tea is a cousin to caffeine and has the molecular ability to open up this channel, as you were saying, and allow our ingredients to penetrate to that dermal layer. So we kind of rev up this engine, so to speak, this follicle, and put a protective layer over it, because this is blown up, obviously, but the space from our epidermis into our follicle is teeny tiny. So the smallest amount of things that we consume kind of land there and eventually cause issues. And each one of these follicles are like live little mini organs. So they each have their own little operating system, so to speak. Another big thing is hair is a non-essential tissue. So we don't have to have hair to survive, but a lot of us like to have hair and have to have hair to make a living and all of that. And so, nutrients and things like that, hair just kind of gets pushed to the side.
Right.
So what I love about Zenagen, and it kind of gets in there and takes over for pieces of the puzzle that were left out from someone's diet or lifestyle or whatever it may be.
That's amazing. And I think that that's really what sets Zenagen apart from all these other products on the market. Is it is a topical thing. You are washing your hair anyway. I hope everybody's washing their hair anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're adding to your routine. You're just switching something out. And obviously, most people, I would think, like at least for myself, I'm not about to be using Rogaine. I'm not into chemicals. And I love that this is a nutraceutical. So we're only dealing with plant-based, vegan, cruelty-free ingredients, and it's topical. So I think that that's really incredible, and that's something that no one else, you guys are the only product on the market that really speaks to that.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're correct on that for sure. Yeah, it's a couple different ways of looking at it and getting into heal the hair, and besides just putting a product on it topically. And as a hairdresser, I've hit a brick wall a lot of times with trying to heal people's hair. and doing the best treatments and using the best this and that, but sometimes they need to work internally to get that healing to happen. And just having the right combination of ingredients for each individual, you know, everyone's different. So, but it is an amazing product. The conditioner is ultra healing. It has 20% of the benefits to it. So it's part of the treatment. And has aloe as the first ingredient, which helps with moisture regulation on our scalp and our hair, and helps with our existing hair. So, you know, conditioner kind of finishes everything off and helps with our scalp health. So it's really amazing to have a treatment such as this just in your shower that you could use 3 days a week. So yeah, we love it.
And that moisture is so important, because I know when my hair starts to feel dry, I worry about it breaking off, which kind of defeats the purpose of when you're trying to grow your hair out longer.
And if you're not structurally working on your hair strand, like the cuticle goes together kind of like a zipper. And if we're not working on healing this cuticle, then all the good products you're using doesn't matter, because it's just going to rinse off and not penetrate into the cuticle. Okay. So the product, you know, Evolve helps to put the pieces together like a zipper so that the moisture can get held in, all those amazing benefits can get held in without just washing it all away. And that goes with color retention as well. So helps to keep your color intact.
Excellent. Yeah, I always go back to that old Pantene Pro V commercial where they had the strand of hair and it was like all frayed. And that's what I use as my visual to kind of get it to smooth down, and that's how I can lock that moisture in. So another really important, I was reading one of these questions. Does the Evolve line work preventatively to ensure we don't lose hair? So would you like to go ahead and answer that?
Sure. So if you want to prevent, yes, for sure, of course. If you are actively working on your hair loss, you would need to use our other product, which is called Revolve. But Evolve does have saw palmetto. It's called, I'd say it has a little insurance plan in there. Okay. So Evolve does have saw palmetto, which is a very important ingredient. It's a low-lying palm that helps with DHT, which affects us all when it comes to hair loss. And then we also have an ingredient called red clover extract that helps to protect our follicle as well. So yes, there are some ingredients in our Evolve that's going to help to put insurance plans, so to speak, on our heads. And maybe if someone wants to kind of, I want my hair to grow faster. I want it to be beautiful, but I also kind of want to prevent it a little bit. Yes, right. Absolutely. Yeah, good question.
Yeah, that is a great question. I know that my one issue, like the only bad thing about the Evolve, is that I have to get my hair colored more often because it grows so fast. So, yes, but that's a great problem to have. I have no complaints there, you know.
Yeah, for sure. If it's part of, you know, the journey, then that's part of the thing, and that's better than it not growing at all. And, you know, our hairdressers can help us come up with a color plan that, you know, maybe it's not quite as obvious in that quicker time period. Yeah.
And
for sure.
How long do you think it takes for you to start seeing results after you use the Evolve line?
So I will tell you, if your hair integrity is not the best, you'll feel it on the first shampoo for sure. And because it does smooth it out almost immediately, it's ultra hydrating and soothing, because frayed and damaged hair is kind of wild and crazy. It needs to be like soothed, like we have to be sometimes. And so, I usually see results on the first use. Okay. And then as far as healing goes, 2 to 4 weeks when it comes to heat damage and chemical damage, which is really quick. You know, we're really impatient creatures, but if we do damage and then we want to undo it in 47 seconds, like we do on everything else, but that's not how it works. And so 2 to 4 weeks is really not long at all. And it just takes time to get those bonds in there, build the bonds back up. And if you kind of baby your hair along the way, that will help out as well. But 90 days is our bottle lasts. So this bottle lasts about 90 days. So if you use it 3 times per week, you're going to get about 90 days out of it. I see most results that I'm like kind of wowed by after the 90 days. Okay. Definitely have seen results before the 90 days. It really just depends on what are they going in for. Are they trying to grow it faster? Are they looking for healing? And it depends on how long the damage has been done to the hair and kind of how long it's been in like a growth plateau. Okay. So the ingredient we use to speed up the growth process is called alpine willow herb. Okay. And it just makes the cells turn over faster. So you can equate alpine willow herb to like retinol on our facial products. speeds up the cellular turnover. So yeah.
I'm a big fan of retinol. All
Yeah.
of my callers know I love a good retinol, and I use mine all the time. So that totally makes sense to me. It's
Cool.
And I will say that I did notice a difference after my first wash. I actually took a before and an after picture because I had seen everything on the website and read all the reviews, and I wanted to see for myself. And it definitely looked smoother and also fuller as well. So I was very excited.
Good.
And I was getting growth right out of the gate. It's like I think that my body just my scalp wanted and needed it. So every time that I've got, especially when I had my hair extensions, you could see the growth was so significant that I was getting like more than an inch in 4 weeks. And between my 6-week appointments, like it was growing a lot. So I am the testimonial to say that it actually does work. It works great. Like all the reviews are true. So anyone, if you need a testimonial, I'm here and I'm happy to give it because I love that. Great luck with it. As far as the DHT goes, so I know that in the Revolve line, we get rid of the DHT because that's the hormone that makes your hair fall out. So how does that work in regard to hair growth?
So DHT is never going to go away. It's in all of our bodies forever. It's produced. What we do is kind of reduce DHT some because it's good in other parts of our body, just not on our scalp.
Okay.
And if we have a sensitivity to it, that's when it becomes a problem. Not everyone has a DHT sensitivity. So when it comes to growth, our Evolve does help to reduce the DHT with that soft palmetto, red clover, and even green tea helps to reduce DHT. Okay. And so that is helping to cleanse that out. DHT, if we're sensitive to it, it builds up in the follicle, kind of like cholesterol in our arteries, and it just slows down the growth process and things like that. So it's derived from testosterone. We all have it. And so if you are losing your hair, you probably have a DHT sensitivity in combination with something else that's going on, whether it's stress, trauma, a surgery, a diet change, something like that. But yeah, Evolve does kind of help with the DHT as well, which is really important. As we get older, as women, when we get older, our testosterone goes up. So there's going to be more DHT. And as men age, their testosterone goes down. So they typically tend to lose hair. It just kind of really depends with the DHT thing. But we do have some ingredients in there that help out with that for sure.
I hadn't ever really thought about it until you just said that we actually probably need the DHT in our bodies. So I love that this is just dealing with that DHT and not anywhere else where you might need it, versus like taking some kind of hormone inhibitor or adding bioidentical hormones or something. So really you're protecting your body by using the Zenagen shampoo because it doesn't have the chemicals and you're not taking something away that other parts of your body might actually need. So that's
absolutely cool. Yes. And it's a little bit of an easier, more natural approach as opposed to, like you said, someone just putting hormones in a pill form in their body to help with something out, because that affects everything.
Yeah.
So we kind of localize in on hair, and then whatever else needs to happen, the doctors can deal with all of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Evolve is a life changer, game changer, and it's even great for healthy hair. So even people with the healthiest of hair always want healthier hair.
Absolutely.
And so that helps to kind of keep the hair in its best shape. And a lot of times I say it's an anti-aging product because as we age, which we, maybe we're learning how to age a little gracefully now, but as we age, our hair ages too. And so it lacks in nutrients, it lacks in shine. And, when I was in my 20s, my hair was a lot better than, it is now. And so it is like anti-aging. It kind of restores things that gets depleted as we age. Oh,
and just environmental factors as well. Like you said, anesthesia, that's a big one. I remember my aunt's hair texture changed after she had surgery. So like the anesthesia and just free radicals and sun and chlorine and all of the things that we're exposed to in our hard water, soft water, all that stuff. So yeah. I'm fighting a losing battle, I feel like. Oh my goodness.
I know.
I look at my kids' hair and I'm like, your hair's so pretty and it's like so soft and you do nothing. You don't even let you roll out of bed. I miss that. Like, what happened to that time?
Yeah. That's true.
Oh
yeah.
Well, I know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to get into our new product, but you go, Jenna.
That's what I was going to ask you about. So, yes, go ahead, and then I'll tell you everything I think about it and a funny story about it as well.
Oh, good. Okay, yes, because you got it recently. Okay, awesome. So we are expanding our line. We have the Revolve line for men and women with hair loss, then the Evolve line for acceleration, restoration, all that lovely stuff. So then we just released this amazing new product. It's called a Zenagen strengthening leave-in. And so this is a leave-in conditioner. The smell is incredible. I'm going to say smell first because most people judge everything on smell. So it's a structural based technology. It's got a lot of our amazing ingredients from our shampoo, but it also has some new ingredients that Jared has worked so diligently on researching and finding out the newest and the best for our hair. So it's kind of a thicker product, but it sprays on really nice. It's a great detangler. I will say that right off the bat. Yes. You can use this in conjunction with our shampoo and conditioner treatments. Some folks needed some extra hydration, or some people don't prefer a conditioner in the shower, so they do the leave-in. That's perfectly fine. It has some UVA, UVB protective mechanisms in there with olive oil. So that's pretty amazing. It also has sunflower seed oil in it, which is excellent for color retention. Rice protein, which is going to put those bonds back together, really important for that. It's going to be excellent for scalp as well. Turmeric, which is really great. I take a turmeric supplement. I was happy to see that in this. It's all about inflammation, reducing inflammation, and helping with things such as eczema and psoriasis. And then pumpkin seed extract, which is in a lot of beauty products lately, I've seen, and it helps with anti-aging. It does penetrate into the hair to help restore some moisture and some structural integrity there. So I'm super thrilled about this. I've used it a lot already, and I actually used it as a cutting lotion too, so that was really fun. But yeah, now you tell me your story. I'm excited to hear this.
Okay, well, I love it. I'll just say that, but I'll tell you. So one of the things I love about it is that you can like lock and unlock it. So we went on vacation this weekend. It was our anniversary. So my husband and I just did a little staycation, and I brought this with me because it wasn't going to leak everywhere. So we do our thing. We take our showers and we go down and eat dinner outside in the hotel. And he's like rubbing his hand through his hair. And he's like, my hair is so soft. And I'm like, oh, that's nice, honey. Like, okay. And he's talking about his hair. And he's like, I used your leave-in conditioner. And I'm like, you did? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, no, what? He's like, feel my hair. He was so excited for me to feel his hair. And he's like, it feels fuller to me too. And he's like, yeah. And so now I'm going to have to hide it because my husband's trying to steal it from me. But yeah, he went into my bag and he took it. And so he loved it and gave you the seal of approval as well.
I love that. Yeah. That is awesome. I love that. Yeah. Is his hair longer, or is it just like a...
It's kind of long. He's got longer hair on the top, but yeah, so he has some hair. He has good hair. I mentioned this last time. I put him on the Revolve line because he has fabulous hair and I want to keep it looking fabulous. So he needs
I love that.
A little bit of help with the reminders though. I'm like, did you use your shampoo? He's like, I'm using it every once. I'm like, no, you got to use it at least once a week preventatively. But at least I guess it's good that he's using the conditioner because he's helping him out there as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So I was really excited because I usually use a phytoprotein spray in my hair. Years ago, I had someone tell me, if you are a blonde, you have to be using some kind of protein. And I know that you can over protein and your hair can break off from that. And so it was a whole thing. So I found this phytoprotein spray. I actually have to have it flown in from England. So it's a whole ordeal. And then I use a leave-in conditioner after that. And I was like, I don't have to do that anymore when I got this.
Yeah.
It's going to take care of my hair and strengthen it. I love that it has the heat protectant in. That's a big one for me because either I forget to spray the heat protectant, or sometimes it's just too much product and it like builds up and you get that like tacky, not nice feeling hair. And so this has that in it. So I was very excited about that. Am I crazy, or does my hair feel fuller? I feel like
no, it's gonna make it feel fuller. Yeah.
It definitely feels fuller and shinier, and it's very, very soft. So I actually blew out my hair straight this morning before I curled it, and I was like, oh, I get all excited about this leave-in conditioner, I have to tell you. So
great.
yes.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned shine, because that was one of my favorite things as well. The shine is incredible for sure. Yeah, and it helps to kind of just bring like that wild hair together. So smooth it out. Yeah, your hair looks great, by the way, Jenna.
Thank you.
It does. You're welcome. I love it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I am a hot tools hoarder and a product hoarder. So I will spray like 7 different hair products on my hair to accomplish all the things. Then it gets kind of built up and crunchy. So I am so happy that this eliminates so many of those products. So now I was able to do this morning and a texture spray after I curled it, and I was like thrilled.
Nice.
And it eliminates time and eliminates money. It's just, I was so excited about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's like 5 different benefits it takes care of in one. So yeah, that is really, really nice for sure. I love a heat protectant too. And it's nice that as it's heating, you know, as I'm putting this on damp hair and combing it through, and as I'm using that blow dryer, I'm also restoring the integrity and protecting the heat and protecting from the sun. So it does a lot in one. We're really excited about it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So now that we've raved about it and everyone's going to want it, when is it coming out?
So it should be out soon with some of our already. So it should be out really soon. So just stay tuned and you'll get the word, and then you can let all of your amazing followers know. Yeah.
Absolutely. And if they come over to the Zenagen website and get on your email list, will they get an email when it's available?
They should. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah. So go over to the Zenagen website and get on their email list, and you'll be the first to know when the new leave-in conditioner comes out. I think that there might be some other fun things you guys are working on too. I might have spied on your social media page.
We are, yes. So we are definitely expanding our line. So some amazing things are coming up in the future for sure. New technology and just a couple other things that maybe fill in the gaps where, you know, some people prefer to use certain methods when it comes to hair loss and restoration. So yeah, we definitely looked into that and going to deliver, you know, because people have asked. So yeah,
that's very
excited.
I'm very excited about it because I think an important thing is to like, know, and trust the companies that you work with and the products that you use. And I fully trust and support you guys. And I know that I'm getting the best possible ingredients in the product. So I'm excited that you're expanding your product line. I had an idea I wanted to ask you about. So let's say that I washed my hair with Evolve. Now I put in my leave-in conditioner, and I'm going to get ready to blow dry. What other products would you recommend from the Boost line to give me like the wow hair factor?
Okay, and I wish I had it in my hand to show, but the I'm in a different area today. So the Boost volume foam is really incredible. Okay, so the volume foam is going to give tons of volume. It's excellent for textured hair as well. But if you have shampooed with Evolve, rinsed, and decided to use a leave-in today, and then I would probably go in with the volume foam, maybe in the crown area or even on the sides, and then give yourself a good blowout. And then you could finish off with the densifying leave-in cream or even the powder. If you, the cream I would go for if you want to show some separation or kind of calm some frizzies down or new growth down. And the powder I would go for if you don't like to feel product in your hair necessarily, but you need a little oomph because it's a water-based powder. So it has some memory and some good fibrous kind of abilities to it to give it some volume for the day. And those products have memory to them. So like I said, if it plops down during the day, you can just shake it right up. But the foam, I love the Boost products because they're really good if you don't like to shampoo every day or every other day. They don't build up, and get heavy on you. They're just kind of in there, and they're nice and light and airy. And you can even, when my hair was longer, I would, brush out on day 2 and kind of start over sometimes with adding the powder in or something like that on, since the foam is already in there and giving that volume. So yeah, I would go for foam, would be like my go-to.
Yeah. I love the foam too. And just in case everybody didn't catch that, you put the foam in when your hair is wet before you blow dry your hair. And I also love that the water-based Boost. I put it right in the crown of my head to give myself a little height. Yeah. And I know that you guys had mentioned on your Instagram earlier, I think it was earlier this week or late last week, that it is the Evolve line is friendly with hair extensions. So if I used it when I had hair extensions and I was trying to grow my hair out. It was the perfect complement because I didn't have a choice. My hair was really bad. I had no choice. So I had to wear extensions. But my hair was being taken care of and it was boosting the growth while I wore those hair extensions. And I think that something that's important to note with that is that no matter what kind of hair extensions you have, it's putting trauma on your scalp because it's something that's not meant to be there, which creates inflammation. And then the shampoo helps to reduce all of that inflammation. So it's really, it's a great complementary product to someone who's trying to grow out their hair and maybe doesn't have the option and has to wear hair extensions. But where I was going with this is when I would use that product to cover the extensions in the back, that was the greatest product I found. And it also keeps everything in place. So if the wind blows, you're not seeing everything too.
Yeah. I agree with you on the powder thing for the extensions for sure. And also, if you are wearing extensions, it helps so Evolve reduces the shedding. So when the hairdresser goes in or whoever goes in to move that extension to pull it up to the new growth area, there's way less hair coming off, which is really important. And then the hair that's growing out is much stronger. So the hair that's getting a new extension attached to it, whatever the method is going to be stronger from the get-go. So it just makes sense to use Evolve in conjunction with your extension, goal or whatever you're going for, because it's going to help kind of foster that health along instead of, just kind of taking it back to step 1. It's helping you evolve into your new hair. So that was good. That worked out. I didn't mean for that to happen.
I like that. It's interesting you would say that because every stylist I've ever encountered has said, I don't know, you have so much strength and your hair is so much fuller at the root, and then as it grows, it's not as full. And so since I've been using the Evolve line, which it's been a little over 2 years now, every time I've had the hair extensions in, every person has said, you're fine to have hair extensions because the roots of your hair are so strong. So it's definitely helping to strengthen that hair for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the longer our hair is, the older that hair is, the more washes it's had, the more this, the more that. So Evolve kind of helps keep your older hair just as healthy as your newer hair. So it's like a good little secret weapon, so to speak, to have for sure.
It definitely is. And I tell everyone I've sent it to people. I've given it as gifts. Because your hair is just, as a woman, for most women, I think it's so important because it's kind of, for me at least, it's like my security blanket, my kind of feminine identity. And it's also an expression of creativity, like the color or the haircut or how I style it or a braid or whatever it is. And it's traumatic for women when they lose their hair, their hair breaks off. I had a friend who got keratin for the first time and her hair just could not handle it and it all broke off. And like you
Oh,
said,
no.
she couldn't color her hair anymore because it was so damaged. And I remember she's like, I'm just so sad with short brown hair, because she was a blonde. And I, you know, this is this gives you the ability to feel better about yourself, to do something to proactively get your hair to grow and make it stronger and healthier in the process, and be able to continue to color it, because maybe brown hair doesn't feel good to you. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Absolutely. That was beautiful. That was really well said, Jenna. I love that.
Well,
yeah,
thank
that's
you.
important.
Yeah, that was kind of my catalyst for how I ended up in doing all of this. Is I just wanted to help other people feel like their best selves, whatever that may be. Like, you don't need to change for anyone else, but what can we do to make ourselves feel our best possible beings, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love that. I agree with that. It's good stuff for sure.
It is.
Yeah, and we're all shampooing till the end of time anyway, so why not just give it a shot, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I had a question I was thinking about the other day, because I'm like, I have the hardest time with keeping Revolve and Evolve and the colors straight. So do you have a trick for how to remember which one is for which?
Sure. So Revolve has the men's and women, so that kind of all of a sudden kind of makes them separate, because there is a different, men and women, we react differently to hair loss, so that's why there's two formulas for Revolve. And then the Evolve is just on its own. So when I was in the salon, how I thought about it was Revolve, regrow. That's what kind of helped me. Like, I'm going to regrow what I have lost. And then when I think of Evolve, I think of either evolving my hair to new hair, or extend, because it extends your growth cycle by 40%. So that's kind of what helps me out. And then also another little trick is Evolve has green on it.
Yes.
And just in my brain, I always think of grass growing faster. And so I'm always like, okay, yeah, I need the one that makes the grass grow faster.
Perfect. Yes. Because I'll start trying to tell someone about it, and then I'll be like, wait, no, hold on. I got to go upstairs. I got to get in the shower. I got to look it up on the website, because I get a little confused, but that's a perfect way. I'll remember that forever, because I'm like, green, grass, grow. I got it. Okay. Length.
Okay, good. Cool.
And regrowing your hair with Revolve, that's perfect. So that helps tremendously. I was just going to see if we had any questions, and I'll scroll through and see if I missed any questions.
Sure.
See.
And while you're doing that, I do want to mention that you can use Revolve and Evolve together. The important thing is, if hair loss is your #1 concern, then let's handle hair loss, because it's time sensitive. So get a hold of Revolve, work on your hair loss, get the inflammation down in your follicle, bring that hair back to life. Which just takes about 6 months, about 2 bottles of Revolve. And then you can switch over to Evolve and ramp up that growth cycle, because you don't really want to grow a skinny hair out faster. You want it to be nice and strong and thick and full, and then rock and roll with your growing. So, just wanted to keep that in mind. They can flip-flop back and forth.
Yes. And I think that's something that you mentioned when we did classes during the pandemic, was that, let's just say you just want to have better hair, that you could do 1 bottle of the Revolve and then switch to the Evolve. Is that correct?
Sure. If your hair loss is not that progressed.
Yeah. If you're not having hair loss issues, you just want it to be fuller and then grow it.
Yeah.
I think another thing that's important to note, and actually a question, it's kind of a twofold question that I have for myself, is that so I've used Evolve for 2 years. So if I stopped using it tomorrow, which is never going to happen, so how long until everything that I have gained from this doesn't work anymore?
So if you're using Evolve, you're not really going to, you're going to notice your hair is not going to be as soft. And then in the next, maybe month or 2, you'll notice, man, my hair's not growing quite as fast. Okay. But that's really the only thing you'll notice with Evolve, as far as, and if, you go right back to damaging your hair and things like that, obviously all that hard work has gone down the drain. But with Evolve, with Revolve, it's a little bit different. If you use it for 5 years, let's say, and discontinue it, it's going to take some time to go back to where you were. because what happens is we build a shield over the follicle to help with inflammation and cleanse out the DHT. And then inflammation and DHT are happening in our bodies all day, every day.
Okay.
So if we don't do anything to reduce that, then it's just going to happen again. So, but the good news is you're not going to use it and then discontinue it, and then all your hard work is over in like 24 hours. It's going to take time to kind of, you know, the body to do its thing again without the help of Evolve or Revolve. So, yeah.
That was something that I think I'm a little neurotic about my hair to start with. And then when you have trauma, which I think a lot of people can relate to, you're like, you don't want to miss a shampoo. So you want to make sure if you're going on a trip, you take that shampoo with you. But really, it's not that intense, and you could probably go a day or two, or if you were traveling for a week and couldn't bring it with you or something like that, then you would be okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. You can listen to your own, you know, hair and see what your hair needs. But yeah, it's not the end of the world if you forget it on vacation. You know, just start back up when you get home. No worries. And then we have travel sizes too. So.
Oh yes, I have the travel sizes. I keep those in my travel bag all the time. But so I'm like all tongue-tied. I get all excited. So
That's okay.
I just was like, oh my God, I can't undo. You know, you just don't want to undo all your hard work, and you're not going to do that in a short period of time. So
no, it takes time. Yeah.
If you're someone like me and you finally get your hair to like the length that you want it, what would you suggest or if you get your hair to grow back to the thickness that you want, what's your long-term strategy? Can you go down to 1 or 2 times a week? Should you, if you're not trying to grow it longer, should you then switch to Revolve just to hold where you're at and make sure you're combating any hair loss that you might experience in the future?
Sure. So yeah, once you kind of, when it comes to hair loss, so Revolve specifically, if you have a medical related hair loss, it's a good idea for you to stick with the product for, you know, the length of that time. Right. For example, I've been using the products for 4 years. I started with Revolve because I had surgeries and a thyroid issue, and then switched over to Evolve, and now I just flip-flop back and forth. I don't use Evolve when my hair's this short because I already get haircuts every 2 weeks. But with Revolve, I do keep Revolve in my shower, and I use it at least once a week. Okay. Because I have a thyroid condition, I want to keep it up. And there have been times where I'm a hairdresser, and I do experiments. And so there have been time periods where I don't use Evolve or Revolve for a minute to see what happens. And then I notice, okay, I'm shedding a little bit more. I'm going to start using my Revolve again. So it's really just listening to, you know, your hair and what your story is. If you have a medical condition, it's probably a good idea to stick with it at least 2 or 3 times per week. If you're just using Evolve for fun, so to speak, to grow your hair out faster, and once you get to that length, you can continue to use it if you want once a week, once every 2 weeks to kind of keep things going, or you can discontinue it, all the way. It just kind of depends on what your hair goals all are and things like that. But what I just tell people to do is kind of pay attention to your hair. And if you've not used it for a minute and realize, oh, I'm missing those benefits, then just, use it once or twice a week as well to kind of keep things going.
Okay. Because I personally added an extra day of washing my hair to get the 3 days in with the Evolve. So I've just stuck with my 3 days a week. But normally I wouldn't wash my hair that often. I would only wash it maybe twice a week. So that was why I was asking. So basically I'm getting your permission to go to 2 times a week once I get to the length I want, which I think that I'll probably, because I am getting the benefits of, if I were to experience hair loss in the future, I think that I would probably just switch over to the Revolve at that point and just keep everything healthy and looking great, because that'll help with the strength of your hair as well, right?
Absolutely, yes. And not everyone's canvas of hair can handle that many washes. So it really just depends on your canvas of hair. Like when my hair is longer, I can't wash it 3 times per week. I just don't have that type of hair. So I do once or twice a week. So it just depends on if your hair can handle it. If you're using it 3 times per week and you feel like it's too much wash, too much, then, you know, minimize it, bring it down to 2 times per week. It's okay. And then we have the other products, the boost products and this leave-in and another product that's coming out that can kind of help, you know, fill in those gaps. So,
and the one that the spray you can use in between as well.
Yes, the Boost Scalp Therapy. Yes, Jenna,
Yes.
Thank you for bringing that up. It's I don't have it in my hand, sorry, but it's got a spray nozzle on it, and you just spray it right on your scalp area. So yeah, you can use that on the in-between to make you feel better and to keep your scalp intact, you know, health-wise.
Yes, that's a product I really like also for that reason, to use in between washes, but also I would think for a man specifically, if you have like a spot that's you're starting to lose hair in, or just where my part line is, I like to put put extra in just because I feel like it experiences a little more wear and tear. So for those 2 specific reasons, I love that product as well. So
absolutely. Yeah, that's a great spot treatment for sure. And you're right. And women, we typically lose hair in our part area, or if we wear our hair back a lot, in our hairline area. So yeah, definitely. That's a good one to use in between as well. And then, you know, also there's other things that come along with hair loss and hair growth, our nutrition, our stress levels, our hormone balancing, you know, all of that's a good idea for us to look into so that we're just getting the 360 approach when it comes to hair and skin and nails, all that.
absolutely. And it's, you know, you just don't ever know when you're going to experience a trauma, unfortunately, and that can cause hair loss. And so if you are also, if you're not someone who's already using Zenagen and you're experiencing a stressful time in your life, like all of us just did over the last year and a half with COVID, now is a great time to combat that before you have a problem, I think.
Absolutely. And all of that's delayed too. So, you know, we might go through a situation and think we handled it, we're done, we're out of it, we're good. And then our hair starts falling out. And it doesn't make sense, right? Like, wait a second, that was months ago. I'm good now. Well, your hair's not good. So yeah, you're right. Prevention is definitely key. And then if you have a surgery coming up or something coming up, you know, that's going to be a big stressor, you can put it in your shower, you know, get it prevention. Yeah.
I've actually, unfortunately, heard a lot of people who had COVID as a after effect. One of the symptoms was hair loss. So unfortunately, it's a lot more prevalent than it was before, but there is a solution.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad you said that. The most important part about all of this for me personally as a hairdresser with this company is to help us talk about hair loss more instead of just ladies putting, you know, toppers on their head or whatever and just kind of quietly moving through life. No, let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about hair loss. Let's talk about our challenges. We're all human beings. Let's, help each other out in that regard. So I want people to talk about it because it's not fair for the people that are suffering from hair loss to be kind of pushed to the side in society because they need, you know, we all need help with our hair for sure. So let's talk about it. I love that.
Yeah, we just all need to be like connect on a human level and be honest with each other about what's going on, because hair loss is probably going to happen to everyone at some point in their life. But
absolutely.
So let's just
or a loved one. Yeah.
We just have to normalize it, I suppose.
That's it. Let's do it. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Somebody else said it. Yes, love that. Definitely normalizing the things we need help with. So sweet.
Yeah, let's stop hiding. Yeah, I love it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, it has been a pleasure, Jennifer, as usual. If anyone has any further questions, they can shoot us DMs and we can get on stories to answer them later. So I think that this has been a success. I love the Evolve line. I'm so excited to talk about it. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for giving us a chance and being patient on your journey and then sharing that with others. That's the name of the game. So I think we're both winning in that respect. You know, trying to share that love. So I appreciate you bringing us on, and you know, hopefully your followers have learned a lot today. So
I hope so. And patience, I think, is the key with that. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day. You can't regrow your hair overnight, but Absolutely.
Right.
You can be
Yeah,
patient. You
absolutely.
will get the results.
That's
And I
right.
know,
You got
and
it.
if you are an Evolve user, I will say this: I make sure that before I have my hair done, like, because I know that that's a consistent time frame, I do a before and after picture so that I
Love
can
that.
compare. Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard when you're doing, like, when you look at your hair and you're brushing and blow drying every single day to really notice until you see it in black and white next to each other. So I'll give everybody a quick tip is I had a shirt that had a logo on the back. So I use the same shirt every time so I can see how much closer my hair is getting to that logo.
I love that. And then it encourages you, and it's a good check-in so that we can mentally feel like I can do it. I can go on. I can do this. Right.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So definitely
That's
take
great.
pictures too, because we want to see them. So if you guys, any of the Zenagen products and you're seeing results, definitely tag them in your posts. And you can tag me too, because I just want to see them because I'm excited. I love this kind of stuff.
Awesome. Me too. Yeah. Well, thank you so very much for your time and your journey and your story. Thank you for sharing your story and involving us in it. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. And I will have to do it again soon when the new products come out, because I'm very excited about those as well.
Definitely.
Thank you guys
we'll
so
do
much.
it. Thanks,
I hope
Jenna.
everybody enjoyed it. Have a great day.